What is up, everyone? It is Midwest Raider fans coming at you with another video for our channel. Today we have another loss to bring to you, unfortunately, but we're still going to hang in there and give you what we thought of the game. There is some silver linings, I guess, in this, so we'll kind of stay positive, but still, unfortunately, a loss. So we did lose to the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was Week 8, NFL season, Kansas City Chiefs at the Raiders in Vegas. And it was 27-20, which I think we were both pretty close on that call.
We were close.
But we did pull a loss. We'll go over the stats just a little bit here in just a second, but I kind of want to just pass it to Jimmy and let him get in here and see what you think so far.
Yeah, well, like I said, we both predicted it to be a close game. Obviously, divisional games seem to be tough, no matter if one team's way better than another team's doing. We've learned that in the past. Going to start it off, fire Luke Getsy. I don't know how you can go 2 weeks in a row in the red zone, lined up inside the five and in, and we can't punch it in for the life of us. Can't punch it in. Last week we did it against the Rams, who are the number one worst rushing defense in the NFL, and we passed it last week 3 times. This week we get a similar situation. First and goal from the 3-yard line, and we cannot get it in the end zone. And I know, packed in, everybody's bunched up, those yards are hard to come by, but you can't tell me we couldn't come up with something. Luke Getsy, some sort of play to get us, in a good spot. Like their runs from shotgun. I don't know why we're doing shotgun and we're at the 3-yard line, and not passing the ball. We're still running it. I mean, be under center, get the running back some room, hike that ball so we can gain some speed, get that ball and, power through. Or, look at Philly. They do the tush push. They don't even have Kelsey on the, this under center this year, and they still run that to perfection. So, yes, a little disheartening. We both kind of predicted, going into the loss. Going to get the loss this week, unfortunately. We hung in there. It was a close game, kind of like we predicted. Thank God they didn't, manhandle us.
Yeah, didn't blow us out.
I'm happy about that. Some positives from the game. I thought Minshew was not horrible. I thought he was a game manager, which we've been saying all year long. Obviously he had that fumble, which was crucial. It hurt. But pocket broke down, and, he took off running there. But no interceptions this week. Got the ball. Yeah. I wish we would have targeted, Bowers or stood tight in there, but we didn't do that this week for whatever reason. It was good to see Jacoby. Myers back.
They take over receiver 1 really well.
Yeah, so that was good. Rushing, again, we went against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. I think they're 4th in the NFL for, their defense is phenomenal. I think they're underrated, but that's because everybody's looking at the, offense. So we knew that was going to be tough. I know you're going to go into the stats, but, we really had no running game whatsoever. Some of the play calling, we all saw the play with the lineman out there as wide receiver 1. Some sort of trick play. I got my fingers hoping that they were going to try to do something, but with Getsy at the helm, who knows what they were going to pull off there.
And that was the fumble play too.
That was the fumble play, yeah. So, like you said, some bright sides. Like I said, again, I think Minshew did a decent job managing the game. We were in the game. I think if play calling would have been better, Getsy just scripts the whole thing. I did like that he was up in the box. I like him better up in the box than down on the field. That's still neither here nor there because we're still losing and he's up in the box. So I guess that may be a personal thing for me. But, proud of, still Raider, still going to root him on. Got a big game coming up again this week. But, it's pretty much my takeaways. We hung in there.
All right. And I know Jimmy's going to jump in for a lot of the stuff that we talk about here today. So I went back and I watched the game. We're trying not to go too deep into this. I don't want to make a really long video today, but I went back and watched every play, every snap. I wanted to really deep dive, take a look, and see anything interesting. And definitely the Mumford as wide receiver 1, we didn't notice during the game, but absolutely just weird, dumb. Didn't really need to be done. I don't know what they were trying to figure out or do. I was happy to see the offense start off fast. We did drive down the field, score a touchdown right after the Chiefs. Right after the Chiefs did the same thing. Almost did it twice. Like I said, if we could have done it that second time, it would have been really, I think, a statement to the Chiefs that, hey, we're going to hang in and go, tit for tat scoring. But we weren't able to do it. And that, once again, comes down to the play calling. I think his scripted ran out, and he just stopped calling. And I'm talking about Getsy, good play. So let's just really quick quick stats. 228 total offense, 5 penalties, which is better than last
Better
week.
than the last couple weeks, yes.
Only 32 yards of penalties. 27 minutes of offensive time on the field compared to their 32. But I really think that the offense, once again, and Jimmy's calls it every week, that they did do a better job of game managing and sustaining some drives, keeping Mahomes off the field a little bit, giving the defense a rest. Like, I think this was the first game that we played almost at least a little bit of consistent game between all three levels, the offense, defense, special teams. The only thing was the turnover that did hurt us later in the game. But I think the biggest mistake was even before that fumble when we had the ball with some penalties and we had it really close at like the 4-yard line. And once again, Gessie just doesn't call good plays in that goal line stance there. And it was, I think he gets confused or something, gets lost, but he can't mix up a good span of plays in within that. And I think that was and that was in the third quarter, so I think that's really decisive that we couldn't punch it in a couple times when we had some opportunities to respond. So I can't really blame it all on Minshew's fumble because we had some opportunities to get in the end zone and we didn't take it. We could have went up 7 with some touchdowns instead of field goals. I was happy that we actually scored in every quarter, at least even if it was a field goal. So once again, there's some silver lining in this game. But are we just playing the Chiefs and we're not going to play any other teams this year? I don't know. We kind of talked about that too. So I'm not going to go into every play. I was going to kind of talk about some of the things we all know that Gessie needs to go. I'm sorry. He needs to, start cleaning the bathrooms and have somebody else come up and call some plays for him because he has a great first quarter of scripted plays, but then after that, like I said, he just gets confused. He doesn't know the order in which to call plays. Also, we talked about this too, that he's not giving our quarterbacks an opportunity to teach them, hey, in this position, when you have this setup, audible to this play.
I don't recall seeing an audible all year long,
yeah.
No matter who the quarterback was or is.
Yeah, exactly. And so I mean, if you're not giving the players what they need to succeed, then you're almost tanking, because you may not say you are, but basically tanking can also mean, your players are trying the best, but you're not telling them the best plays to succeed in the game, and you're not giving them the tools they need to succeed during the game, okay? Yes, the players have to execute, but if you're calling trash plays 3 times in a row, how are you going to succeed? The other team does watch film too, and they know that we're going to run most of the time on first down. We're probably going to run on second down, and then we're probably going to pass on third down. So how many drives have we seen with that? And I can just look at them really quick. And look at 3 right now where it's seriously run, screen, just the same thing. Especially when we were on the goal line stance, we ran 3 plays out of the, they call it the gun or the shotgun or whatever they want to call it, the spread, where the quarterback's back. That is retarded at goal line. When you're on goal line, you come in with your front, you have tight ends and everything in there. Anyways, Minshew actually had really good stats. Like, he was 24 for 30. Like, in the first quarter, he was 8 for 8. Like, just on fire. And that was the first time that I saw, like I said, he can game manage, and we've said that before. And he got in a rhythm, like, especially when we came back, and they'll say it's garbage time, but he came back and drove down the field, threw some really good passes, actually took some hits while he was throwing those passes, but, he responded after the fumble that he fumbled. He came down the field and he scored, which was good to see. So I know a lot of people don't like Minshew, and I'm not saying he's a great quarterback and he's the savior for the Raiders, but we have him, and so if we're going to have him, we need to utilize him the best we can and
work with the talent we got.
Exactly.
And he can manage a game. We need to call the plays he can do, and manage.
Because we've talked about this too. We don't think that Ritter or Ridley, he'll be ready till probably after the bye. If they really want to put him in this offense. So really quick, Addison had 14 attempts for 15 yards. That is terrible when it comes to the running. Our wide receivers on those jet sweeps had more yards than almost he did, which is horrible. But Tucker, Minshew, Turner tried to even use Abdullah. Zamir White had negative yards. He had 2 attempts for negative yards. So running game was a joke. So unfortunately, you can try to pound the ball all day, but if it's not working, you have to try something else. It's just we couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
Yeah. How many times we see them line up and it was a run play and they knew it. I mean, they were in the backfield before we barely had the ball handed off.
So another thing really quick was Bowers targeted probably 3 times in the first half, but only 2 times in the second half. So even though they probably adjusted like good coaches do, I think we could have still, there should be plays for Bowers all through scripted. Also, I loved what AP said in a press conference that, we need to go back and use plays again. Everybody else in the NFL does that work. And we've said that too in our videos.
Yeah.
We need to use plays again. It's like if Getsy, besides run up the middle, if Getsy has a good jet sweep that works, run it the other way. Do something different, but do it again. If it works and then when it gets stuffed, then try something else. But once we do one play, like we don't do the same play again. I don't know if he just doesn't like to redo plays or whatever, but just awful. So Myers, 6 for 52. Our longest pass was 20 yards to Tucker. Tucker did catch some nice balls. Abdullah and Jay Schenker. I don't know if that's a tight end or what.
Yeah, wasn't that the tight end? We brought in a tight end.
We brought in a tight
Bryant
end,
was injured, so
they did spread the ball decently. Like I said, Minshew can game manage, and he looked less happy feet today. He looked like he was decisive, made decisions.
Yeah, he took off running instead of trying to. I mean, it's a scramble. Obviously, I know that wasn't the call, but I mean, he gained decent yards.
Threw it away a couple times. I mean, he looked a little bit more poised that he could be. Even though our offensive line too still needs work. Andre James went out as the center, and they actually put Powers in his center, and he's an actual center anyway. So he did awesome. Like he looked good at center. We had some good plays. I think he should be our center from now on, and move Andre James to a guard or something. I think he looked better at the center position. Other than that, I think that's all I got for stats. Jimmy, anything to add some of that?
No, not really. Like I said, I know we're all on the bandwagon. We want freaking Getsy gone. So we're going to throw this out to AP. You may not have the final say, the final decision, but you got to have some way in there. And you need to make, as you call it yourself, a business decision. And that business decision needs to be, he has to go. So I don't know if we're going to wait and play him again, have him our OC this week, and then do some sort of transition, because then we have a bye, and we got, like I said, we have staff on the team that have offensive coordinator experience. So we got to do something. I mean, if they're saying it and they keep repeatedly say it that we're not tanking, we want to win, we want to be better, we have to get rid of Getsy. I mean, I think that is a major factor. We've seen it all throughout the season, but especially this last week, and then 2 weeks in a row, first and goal inside the 5 in the inside, and you can't get 5 yards and less than that, because at one point I think it was second from, we'll call it 1, but it was like a half a yard, and we went negative.
And I think the whole Raider Nation said it when Morig got that interception, that we're all like,
just score,
get it in, because our offense isn't going to do it, and that's unfortunate to say, but that's the confidence we have there. And we were right. The Raider Nation was right. We were hoping that could happen, but then once I saw the first 2 run plays, I knew another one was coming, and then I knew they would try to do a pass on 4th down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. Raider Nation, tell me what you think. I think it was more of a quarterback draw. Now, again, I only watched it the one time, as it happened, and it looked like once he got that snap and he was in shotgun there, it looked like he was just going to take off running. Granted, it could have been because the line, they were coming after him. I don't know, but I still think it was a quarterback draw. Tried to do something.
Whatever, it was a terrible play. No matter what, we were in shotgun at the goal line.
And shotgun, from the 3.
So we do have the Bengals coming up. We're going to go ahead and do that in a separate video so we don't keep this too long. But yeah, we'll be doing a preview. Also, the bye week is going to be coming up. We're going to have a good video for the bye week. Stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and go over what we picked before, and then we're going to go over what we think now that we have the season in. So Jimmy's going to have to really eat some of his words. But we're definitely going to do that for the bye weekend, or the bye week here coming up. But we do have the Bengals. We're going to give a game preview and the keys to success if we can have any success. But we have lost 4 in a row now, I think.
Yeah, 4 in a row.
But once again, an opportunity against another struggling team that we should beat, but we'll see what happens. Like I said,
we got to give them Raider play
yes,
of the game.
always
Raider
forget,
way
always
play of the
forget.
game.
And that goes to.
We're going to give it to the defense.
Yes.
Obviously, they kept us in the game. They had, pretty solid defense for the most part. I know we talked about this beforehand, didn't bring it up. It would have been nice if we could have stopped them on some of those third downs. Had some third and longs that they, picked up, which if could have changed, just the whole outcome.
Yeah, it could have changed some of the, absolutely. And we glad you brought that up really quick. But yeah, we talked about they could have been a little bit better on third downs because Mahomes beat us a couple times, and sometimes we didn't have a spy, and sometimes he was getting out of the pocket and around the corners like we said
didn't want to happen.
Which we all said, like, if the Raider Nation and fans can see some of this stuff, and we're doing better than the coaching right now for the Raiders, which is terrible.
Yeah.
We're not getting paid the money, but I think...
send me out. Just give me every game. I'll do it for free, and then when it starts working, we can discuss pay next year. But, I'm ready. We're ready. Call us up.
So stay tuned for that game preview here coming up on the Bengals. It'll be coming out really soon. And then stay tuned also for the bye week we'll be looking into. So
leave us a comment. Tell us what you think. You agree with us? We're nuts, and Minshew is complete trash. I mean, we've heard it, and we're not the only ones that haven't heard it. But make sure like, subscribe, share.
Yep,
get it out there.
All right, and as always,
go Raiders.